The Routeburn Track comprises 33 of the finest kilometers you can walk in New Zealand. After an amazing hike in the previous day to the Lake Mackenzie Hut, I had hoped to continue along the trail to the high point at Harris Saddle. Unfortunately, extreme avalanche danger had closed the track not far ahead, which meant I had to find an entirely new way to spend the day. Luckily for me, the gods of New Zealand tramping decided to serve me up one of the most exciting and beautiful days of my trip.
Good morning, everybody. It's about 5:50 a.m. I'm Joshua Cripps, and I've just woken up at a place called Lake Mackenzie Hut along the Routeburn Track, which is one of New Zealand's famous great walks. And clearly I'm not awake yet because I just missed the turn off to the trail that I want to take. Now, if you missed my previous video, it's all about the walk getting here to the Lake Mackenzie Hut from the divide, from the Fiordland side of this incredible walk. Fortunately, the track is closed beyond here. Ignore those red signs in the background because of extreme avalanche danger up somewhere called the Harris Bluffs. But I still am going to head out this morning along the lake here, along Lake Mackenzie shoreline, to do a little bit of photography. And after that, well, we're just going to have to see what the day brings. Come along for the ride. Let's go. Right now I'm heading through the beech forest along the shore of Lake Mackenzie. I'm trying to get down to a point at the lake where I can get a good view all the way up the lake towards Emily Peak, which is this really iconic tongue-shaped mountain that sits above the end of this particular glacial valley. But this is not the easiest forest to get through. It's extremely dense, very overgrown. So getting down to the lakeshore, boy oh boy, it's a tricky little challenge here. Here's a spot with a fabulous view. You can see that it's framed in on both sides by huge boulders sitting here in this shallow part of the lake that is providing a beautiful calm reflection. The main lake's actually quite disturbed right out here with the wind. But back here, it is calm as. Now, sunrise is getting close. There was a little bit of pink in the clouds a minute ago. And I get the feeling that this is going to be one of those mornings where the best light is a bit later when the sun has a chance to come up and start to penetrate through some of these cloud layers. In the meantime, I guess I'm just going to have to sit here in this beautiful, serene crap, listening to these annoying birds and looking at this stupid mountain, crossing my fingers for a little bit of good light. Now, of course, this wide scene is really beautiful. My God, the blue-green color of the lake contrasting with those beautiful cotton candy pinks up there. It's stunning. But what's really catching my eye right now is right off the tip of Emily Peak here. There are these cloud streamers coming off of it, catching that early morning light. So I've switched out to my long lens so I can catch that. Oh, there it is right there. That is really cool, and I think it might look even more amazing with a long exposure. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a filter so I can get that cloud really blurring out as it comes off and catches that early morning light. The top of the mountain appears to be clouding in a little bit more. As I learned the other day, you have to be so fast here in Fiordland. By the time I actually got my filter on there to do a long exposure, all the light had faded from the top of the mountain. But the other lesson that I've learned down here is you can never count it out. I can see the cloud moving and breaking as it goes across. So I'm gonna stay here just a little bit longer in case the clouds do open up and I get a little bit more light up on that peak. it's gone totally gray up there. So I'm going to skedaddle. I'm going to skedaddle if I can get out of the swamp. And I'm going to head up the trail a little bit farther to see if I can get a view out over the valley. That's the one thing I really didn't get a great opportunity to see yesterday as I was coming up. So we're going to try to get up the trail a little bit more to see if it's going to be possible to get those views out over the Hollyford Valley. Let's have a look. As I climb up here through the forest, the light has just gone gray, gray, gray. It doesn't give me a whole lot of hope that I'm going to get a good view once I get up above the bush line. But as I learned many years in the past, in photography, you never know unless you go. So got to at least give it a whirl here and see if Mother Nature is willing to play ball. Just coming to the bush line here. Excited to see what it's looking like. Well, yeah, it's pretty gray. Pretty gray. The view, though, is still spectacular. I can see that the Hollyford Valley, it's totally fogged in, so there's no real point in going up further. But you know what? That's okay. If it was always picture perfect pink poofs, it would be easy, you know what, and it wouldn't be special. So it just makes you appreciate the moments when that does clear, when the light does break through. I'm gonna head back to the hut, grab some breakfast, get ready to make my way down for a day full of photography adventures.
Hey there, this is Nick Stover, the founder of Nature Photography Collective, inviting you to join the collective itself. We have a library of over 100 nature speakers, an incredibly active community where you can interact with other photographers from around the world, and we add new talks, new speakers almost every week. Plus, you can be part of live Q&As, online editing clinics, and be notified before anyone else of new in-field workshops. You can get full details on our website, www.naturephotocollective.com, and you can use code SOCIALS10 to save 10% off your membership. Hope to see you there. Thanks so much.
All ready to rip now. A little chilly, but that's okay. Be bold, start cold. About to warm up, climbing up some steps here. And I am very excited to get back on the trail today because while I've been in there having breakfast, the sky has been doing this. And the mountains are coming out more and more and more across the valley. So I really can't wait to get up here to get some views out across the Hollyford to see what that beautiful range across the way has been looking like this whole time. But I'm not gonna find out by standing around here talking to myself. I need to get on the move. The skies are opening up magnificently, and the view out here. Oh, baby, look at this. Okay, here we go, 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 here we go. So this valley that I've been walking along yesterday and today, but I can actually see it today, that's called the Hollyford Valley, and the Hollyford River flows right down it. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit, I've only ever been the teeniest, tiniest, littlest, biddliest way down that valley. So my goal today is to photograph it not only from up here, from these amazing high alpine views, but down in the valley itself. There is a road that runs a long way down. Then it stops and there's a track that goes all the way out to the ocean. Now, I'm not gonna be doing that. Don't have the time. It's a multi-day trek to do that. But I can at least tuck my nose down in there today and give me a sense of what it's like and what there is to come back for. But before I can get down there, I've got at least 3 hours of walking still to do in this direction, so I better get a move on it, because as we all know at this point, the weather can change in a heartbeat here in Fiordland, and I want to try to get out there before the rain comes in and blocks up all the mountains. Just back to Earland Falls now, and I'm really curious to see if and how the waterfall has changed from yesterday to today. Oh, so amazing! Look at that! This is like a completely different waterfall today. None of the intimidation factor. It's still unbelievably beautiful and cool, but not like this absolutely terrifying, soul-shattering thing of walking through the gauntlet of water like it was yesterday. Today it seems very tranquil and approachable. I don't even think you'd need your rain gear to get through here. Well, I'm not wet, but that was like waterfall walking for babies compared to yesterday. Getting pretty close to the start of this track again. And the weather, while it is windy, has turned so beautiful. So I'm making the little detour here up to Key Summit, which, if memory serves, provides pretty outstanding vista across the Hollyford Valley, Mount Christina, Mount Crosscut, Marion Creek, all that good stuff that of course you all know and have memorized. So I just gotta mosey my way up here, 15-20 minutes, and we'll have a little look. It is just straight gorgeous up here. Holy smokes, it's even more beautiful than I remember. But I can see in the distance the rain coming up the Hollyford Valley, and it's coming up fast. So if I want to have any hope of getting down there and seeing what's what, I need to boogie. So hopefully it's just a squall that's blowing over. It's very common in Fiordland, but it's also equally as common for it to be 3 days of rain. So there's really nothing you can do about it. I'm just gonna enjoy my time up here, then head down, then see what's what. Literally 3 minutes later, the sun is gone and the clouds are here and they are thick. So I'm gonna skedaddle. I realize having the blue sky behind me sort of undercuts that message. Let me turn around. Here we go. These clouds are thick. So I'm gonna skedaddle and head down the hill here. Try to get back to the car before I get belooshed by the rain. But Josh, I can hear you all asking, if the track is closed, how then are you gonna finish your hike? Waka, waka, waka. I'm just gonna go back the same way. Now, I have seen some cool animals in my life, but I wouldn't expect to come across the biggest earthworm I have ever encountered in all of my existence on this trail here in New Zealand. Look at the size of this thing. There you have my hand for reference. All right, this thing is 2 hands long. Keep going, little guy. Get out of the trail. Keep moving. You're gonna get squarched.
I don't know, a worm this size? Is it trying to take over the world? Is it gonna eat all the bird eggs and become a...
Oh, this is where the graboids come from, isn't it? Oh, this is where the movie Tremor started. Oh,
Well, I have also wormed my way down the rest of the trail. I'm just a few steps from the car park. So that is the Routeburn Track, or at least this part of it. There is still one tiny little section I haven't done because the trail was closed. I couldn't get to it. So that's something for me to come back and do again in the future. Now, don't change that channel because I have a lot more exploring to do down the Hollyford Valley. As for now, it is time to shuck off this pack, stuff some food in my face, and, well, chill out, hey? After staring at the Hollyford Valley from above all morning, I was itching to see it from within. What was waiting for me in this seldom visited corner of Fiordland? Would there be more epic views or just thigh-deep mud pits and millions of sandflies hoping to drink me dry? As always, there was only one way to find out. This is as far as I have ever been down the Hollyford Valley, and I cannot wait to see what I find. This place is so ridiculous. I get the feeling that no matter what, today is going to be a beautiful day.